What is going on, guys? This is Kellen with Dreamedia Home Theater. I'm back again with Shane with RBH. Today we're going to be unveiling the new world of home theater and 2-channel setups with active speakers. What are active speakers? What does that mean? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. All right, guys, welcome back. Shane, I will kind of let you dig in deep on this new world of active speakers, why this is such a big impact and really an advantage to the modern day speaker.
Okay, Kellen, I'm excited to get into this. There's some really neat things regarding this, and maybe it's good to go into a little history. Used to be the first powered speakers were essentially just an amplifier put into a passive speaker system that still had a passive crossover. Typical analog amplifier was put into the back of these speakers, and it was a single channel amplifier running power through passive speaker components, ultimately to the drivers. And that was the advent of a powered speaker system, just making that amplifier small enough. Typically, that meant you weren't getting the best quality components in the amplifier that was going into the speaker system. Well, there have been some real advances in the last few years regarding amplifier quality for smaller amplifiers, especially full range Class D amplifiers like the ones that we're using in this speaker system. The next step was more of a powered speaker system, may or may not have used a Class D amplifier, but it was essentially two separate amplifiers if you're running a two-way speaker system, or in this case where it's a three-way speaker, three separate amplifiers. Initially, what you were using were electronic components still in there to create that crossover between those different amplifier stages running the different drivers. It was a step in the right direction, but there were still certain trade-offs in terms of quality. Well, now we're to the point where we have, once again, these really high-end Class D modules, and we do the crossover work in a digital signal processor, DSP. And so all of the crossover work is done in the digital domain, makes it much cleaner. We have much higher sampling rates and that type of thing. I think is important to recognize, because I myself was a real skeptic and didn't really care for powered speaker systems 10 years ago, because some of this technology didn't really exist as it is in its current state, and they just didn't sound that good. But now you can have a powered speaker system with amplifiers built into the speakers that will meet or exceed what you might be buying as an external component to power a passive speaker system. Been quite the advent of technology that has made all this possible.
Yeah, and we're going to make a separate video talking about all the pros and cons between passive, and you guys built an all-in-one solution. You have the streamer DAC that's optional, of course, but then you don't have to buy external amplifiers. Everything you need is essentially these two speakers. So you broke down the three separate Pascal amp modules, how they control the bass, the mid-range, the tweeters. What also makes these different from other powered bookshelf speakers, other powered active speakers on the market?
So this speaker is really unique because of the DSP processing power that's in it, that allows us to do high order filtering in the digital domain. Typically in a passive loudspeaker, you'll have first order, second order, up to fourth order crossovers. In this speaker, we have the capability of doing 8th order crossovers. You're getting better phase coherence, essentially time alignment between the drivers, and then there's less overlap between the drivers, so you have fewer frequency and phase artifacts in the crossover regions as they're transitioning. The end result is just a more pristine, lower distortion, cleaner sound. There's very few companies that are utilizing this type of technology. We're one of the very few, just handful out there in the industry that are doing this in a powered or active loudspeaker system.
Well, I appreciate you walking us through the longevity and the history of what powered speakers and where they are today. And if you guys have more questions on what a powered speaker, active speaker, the advantages of that, we will have more videos coming up on the pros and cons. What's the difference and what are the advantages versus a passive speaker? So stay tuned for that. If you guys are interested in anything you see on our channel, audio, video related, or have questions about RBH sound, feel free to reach out at dreamemediaav.com. This is Shane with RBH, Kellen with Dreamedia. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll catch you in the next one.